Alright, let's go. Number 11, space junk. As it turns out, our planet isn't the only thing we treat like a giant trash can, because space is slowly becoming one as well. Right now, there are millions of pieces of man-made junk orbiting Earth, with more than 30,000 of them being large enough to cause serious damage. And the reason this is actually scary is simple: the number just keeps growing. Now, this really shouldn't worry you too much. I'm sure we'll eventually clean it up. Usually once it becomes a big enough problem that governments are forced to do something about it. But until then, space junk has already become a serious issue. NASA has had to correct satellite paths dozens of times just to avoid collisions with debris. And you're probably thinking this is something you'll never have to worry about, since you don't go to space. But here's the thing: space debris doesn't always stay up there. Large pieces of old spacecraft and satellites have already fallen back to Earth, landing on homes and private property. Most of it goes unreported, because it ends up in the ocean, which means the next piece might not. Number 10, cosmic voids. As we move past Earth's orbit and start looking deeper into the universe, we begin to encounter all kinds of terrifying phenomena. But before we get to any of those, it's worth focusing on something far more unsettling: nothing, and I mean literal nothing. Cosmic voids are enormous regions of space that contain no stars, no planets, no galaxies, and almost no matter at all. In some cases, these voids stretch hundreds of millions of light-years across. One of the largest known examples, the Boötes void, spans roughly 330 million light-years, making the Milky Way, at just 100,000 light-years wide, look almost insignificant by comparison. Astrophysicists believe these voids formed as matter clumped together under gravity, leaving behind vast regions of emptiness. And while that might sound harmless, imagine traveling through a place with no light, no reference points, and no signals to guide you. A journey across a cosmic void wouldn't just be long, it would be completely isolating, with nothing to confirm you're even moving at all. Number 9, dead galaxies. Some galaxies reach a point where they simply run out of cold hydrogen gas, the fuel needed to form new stars. When that happens, star birth stops completely. What's left behind is a galaxy that slowly fades, growing dimmer and colder over time. These so-called dead galaxies often appear red, not because they are active, but because their remaining stars are old and burning through the last energy they will ever have. Astronomers study them like cosmic graveyards, because they offer a preview of the future. The unsettling part is that this isn't rare or unusual. All galaxies, including our own Milky Way, are expected to end this way, on even larger timescales. Scientists hypothesize that the entire universe could enter what's known as the dark era, a period where star formation ends everywhere. No new light, no new energy, just a universe filled with aging stars slowly going out, one by one, with nothing to replace them. Number 8, planets. NASA estimates that there are at least 100 billion planets in the Milky Way galaxy alone, and trillions more scattered across the observable universe. Numbers like that are almost impossible to comprehend, which is why people often say there are more planets out there than grains of sand on Earth, and even that comparison doesn't really help. What makes this unsettling isn't just the number, but the nature of these worlds. Many planets are so extreme that survival would be impossible. Some are covered entirely in lava, others are frozen solid, and some experience storms so violent they make Earth's worst hurricanes look harmless. Jupiter is often used as a prime example. It's a gas giant more than 1,000 times larger than Earth, wrapped in constant storms, crushing pressure, and intense radiation. Step into its atmosphere and everything that keeps you alive would fail almost instantly. And Jupiter isn't unique. It's just one reminder that most planets were never meant to host life at all. Number 7, aliens. Ever since we were young, movies and television have trained us to fear anything not from Earth. Aliens are usually portrayed as violent, hostile, and far more advanced than us, so it's no surprise this idea feels unsettling. But scientifically speaking, an alien is simply any form of life that didn't originate on our planet. That could mean something as small as bacteria, or something far more complex. Astronomers believe it's only a matter of time before we discover evidence of life elsewhere, especially considering the sheer number of planets in the universe. And that's where the fear really begins, because we don't know what that life would look like, how it would think, or whether it would even notice us. Evolution doesn't guarantee familiarity or friendliness. Intelligence elsewhere could follow rules we don't recognize at all. The most unsettling part isn't invasion or destruction, it's uncertainty. Whatever is out there evolved without us in mind, and we have no way of knowing how it would react if our paths ever crossed. Number 6, gamma-ray bursts. These are the most powerful explosions in the known universe, releasing more energy in a single second than the sun would in a billion years. Gamma-ray bursts can happen in a few different ways, either when a massive star goes supernova, when two neutron stars collide and form a black hole, or when a black hole swallows a neutron star. During these events, an intense beam of radiation is released, shining up to 1,000,000 trillion times brighter than the sun, and lasting anywhere from just 10 milliseconds to several hours. What makes this truly unsettling is that gamma rays can't be seen with the naked eye. If Earth were hit by a direct burst from within about 6,000 light-years, scientists believe it could cause mass extinction due to extreme radiation, even from farther away. A direct hit could severely damage satellites and shut down modern technology, leaving us completely unprepared. We wouldn't see it coming. It would simply happen. Number 5, colliding galaxies. With billions of galaxies moving through the universe, it's inevitable that some of them will eventually crash into each other. In fact, our own Milky Way is on course to collide with the Andromeda Galaxy in about 4 to 5 billion years. That might sound like a distant problem, but the scale of these events is hard to ignore. As two galaxies approach, their massive gravitational forces begin to interact, slowly pulling them together. Surprisingly, direct planet-to-planet collisions are extremely rare, since galaxies are mostly empty space, but that doesn't mean everything stays the same. Entire solar systems can be rearranged, flung into new orbits, or ejected into interstellar space. Stars gain new neighbors, planets lose their original suns. Any world with life could suddenly find itself in a completely different cosmic environment. Several galaxies in the universe are already in the process of merging. Right now, it's a slow-motion catastrophe, unfolding over millions of years, quietly reshaping everything inside. Number 4, supernovas. Supernovas are the largest explosions humans have ever observed. Powerful enough to briefly outshine an entire galaxy, they occur when a massive star runs out of nuclear fuel and collapses under its own gravity, or when a white dwarf pulls in too much mass from a nearby star and detonates. In either case, the result is the same, a violent explosion that sends energy and radiation racing across space. What makes supernovas especially terrifying is their range. Scientists estimate that any planet within 30 to 50 light-years of a supernova would have all life completely wiped out. For comparison, they leave nothing behind except expanding clouds of debris and silence. Number 3, black holes. Black holes are easily some of the most terrifying objects in the known universe, mostly because we still don't fully understand how they work. What we do know is that there are different types. Stellar mass black holes form when massive stars collapse, weighing anywhere from a few to thousands of times the mass of our Sun. Then there are supermassive black holes, which can be millions to billions of times more massive, and one of them sits right at the center of our own Milky Way galaxy. Black holes are invisible, because their gravity is so strong that not even light can escape. We only know they're there by watching how nearby stars and gas behave. The most unsettling part is what happens if something falls in. Some theories suggest extreme stretching, known as spaghettification. Others suggest outcomes we don't yet have words for. Either way, once something crosses the event horizon, there is no information coming back. Number 2, the size of the universe. More than any explosion, object, or unknown phenomenon, the most terrifying thing about the universe is simply how big it is. To understand this, it helps to start small. This is you, sitting wherever you are right now. That space is part of a room, inside a building, on a planet called Earth. Earth orbits the Sun, which is just one of 8 planets in our solar system. That solar system is part of the Milky Way galaxy, home to at least 100 billion planets. The Milky Way itself is only one galaxy in a local group, which sits inside the Virgo supercluster, made up of hundreds of galaxies. And all of that exists inside the observable universe, stretching about 93 billion light-years across. And here's the unsettling part, this is only what we can see. Beyond that, maybe even more space, more galaxies, or something we don't yet understand. The universe doesn't revolve around us. It barely notices we're here. Number 1, dark matter and dark energy. Everything you've heard so far is built on what we can see, measure, and at least partially understand. But here's the problem, everything visible in the universe makes up less than 5% of what actually exists. The rest is dark matter and dark energy. Dark matter doesn't emit light, doesn't reflect it, and doesn't interact with normal matter in any familiar way, yet scientists know it's there because its gravity holds galaxies together. Dark energy is even stranger, it's not pulling things inward, but pushing the universe apart, accelerating its expansion. Roughly 95% of the universe is made of forces and substances we cannot directly observe. We don't know what they are, we don't know where they came from, and we don't know if they will ever change. Everything you understand about reality is shaped by something you cannot see, cannot touch, and cannot escape. The universe isn't just vast, most of it is completely unknown. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy videos like this, consider liking the video and subscribing for more. New episodes explore strange questions science still can't fully answer.